1.
Hey, what's up, guys? Bradley Dillon here for the New Fury magazine. We're actually at Scream the Prayer in Orlando today. I've never been to a Scream the Prayer tour, so it's going to be 2 thumbs up for exciting. If you haven't seen the lineup yet, it's Impending Doom, Wolves at the Gate, a lot of other really good bands, and we're here to hang out with my friend Ryan from Fit for a King today. So, first off, how's the tour going for you guys? You know, Impending Doom, Wolves at the Gate, like I said, some other really good bands. So what's the turnout been like so far?
It's been good. It's been about 250 a night so far. It's all cities we've never played before, so it's crazy to see kids that know our music and stuff.
Yeah, you know, you say cities you've never been to before. What kind of feeling do you get when you go to a city and you're not really overly familiar with it, but yet you hear a bunch of kids that are really getting into your music for the first time?
It's really reassuring that I should keep on touring and keep going at it, because it's one of the best feelings in the world, just knowing that kids went out of their way to listen to our music without us even visiting their city yet, and learning it so well that they can scream the entire set with us.
Alright, now something I was actually looking up last night is it's been just about a year since you signed to Solid State, and when I heard that news I was pretty stoked because, you know, we've had a lot of bands either break up or go to other labels like I think Norma Jean and Chariot and stuff like that. But you know, looking back on your signing to Solid State and stuff like that, what kind of ride has it been in the last year? You know, signed and then bam, playing Scream the Prayer.
Yeah, I mean, we get signed, and for the first time ever, we go to a studio, have to be there for a month, and that was like a completely new experience. And then we've just been really busy playing, because we're getting on a lot more festivals, getting interviews like this one, and it's really weird compared to just going from like a bigger local band that did some DIY tours to doing Scream the Prayer and then even bigger stuff in the future.
Yeah, you mentioned doing like DIY tours and stuff like that. What's different about when you were a smaller local band, or like a bigger local band, but you know still local and not having fan base everywhere? What was it like, you know, doing those DIY tours yourself? What were some of the good and bad things about it?
There was definitely more bad than good. It's like you'd be excited for 50 kids. That would be a good night. Or it's just hard to get respect from promoters because they have all these signed touring bands that'll come in like next week or something. So all their focus is on making that show as big as possible. And it's just respect is the hardest thing to get when you're an unsigned band just trying to work your way by yourself without the help of a label or management.
So you now that you guys are signed and playing on big tours and festivals like this, what advice do you have to give for bands that are, you know, trying to get a fan base together and to get signed and stuff like that? What can you tell bands like that?
Just be really smart with your money and don't be impatient, because a lot of bands will start and then want to tour like 3 months later, and all you're going to do is lose money if you do that. You gotta just branch out very slowly. We were unsigned for 5 years, and it took us a while to even get what we had, and then it made everything that much better when we got signed because we had already kind of built a foundation, and then being signed just amplifies that and expedites the growth. So really bands just need to not get like, oh, it's been a year, we should be touring by now, or we should be doing this or this, when that's not the case. Sometimes it takes years to get even a little bit of growth just to get noticed by labels and stuff.
You know, one of the things I noticed about your full-length album, Creation Destruction, is it was probably the big thing everyone noticed. It beat out, it beat out like every other Solid State band ever for its first.
Oh yeah, the freshman debut.
Yeah, you know, what's it like, you know, topping bands like Under Oath, Demon Hunter, stuff like that? What was it like for you when you found out the numbers?
I was like, it's like still kind of unreal to me because I grew up listening to Solid State bands, and Under Oath is like one of my biggest influences ever, along with like August Burns Red and As Cities Burn. And it was actually As Cities Burn record before ours, which is what's really crazy because Son, I Loved You at Your Darkest is like one of my favorite CDs ever. So it's still unreal.
Yeah, you mentioned Under Oath, and we're actually in the area that they toured forever and ever and ever. Actually from my hometown of Tampa, which 2 thumbs up if you're ever watching this, Spencer and friends, love you. Yeah, you know, do you have a favorite Underoath record?
Lost in the Sound of Separation is my favorite.
Really?
It's like, because I love all their records, but I feel like it's a good mix of everything they've done.
So, you know, with them playing their last show in, I think it was January of this year, what was it like when you found out, what was your reaction when you found out they were breaking up and going to separate ways?
I kind of had seen it coming just from, they had slowed down a lot on touring and their draws weren't as big as they used to be ever since Aaron departed the band. And it was a real bummer though. I loved everything they put out. I loved the 2 songs that they put out before they broke up on the compilation CD.
Alright, now, you know, you mentioned Underoath, The City's Burned, some of your influences. What have you been listening to lately? Anything that would really surprise our fans?
I listen to really random songs, like I listen to In the End by Black Veil Brides. I don't like any of the other songs, but for some reason I like that song a lot, because some kid was hating on it, so I clicked it and listened to it, and I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. I know that's a random song, but then I listen to a lot of Amberlin. Conditions is probably one of my favorite bands right now. And then when it comes to heavy music, I like Whitechapel. They're good. I like Black Dahlia Murder too.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing them on Warped Tour this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And what's really going to suck is that they're only playing 30-minute sets, so it's like... You know,
what are they going to play?
I don't even know. I know they're playing Into the Everblack, and then, like...
You gotta play some Miasma stuff.
Yeah, I think they're playing 1 or 2 songs off that, which is pretty cool.
Another artist I listen to is Katy Perry. I love Katy Perry. Her music's very inspirational.
Very inspirational. Something else I wanted to ask you, who did the cover art for Creation Instructions? It's very, it's not like super duper elaborate, but it's something I really enjoy. I feel like there's a lot of symbolism.
It's Ryan Clark from Demon Hunter did the artwork. He works with a lot of solid state bands. He's so good at design. Like he did most of the Underoath records and stuff like that. He won a Grammy for one of the Underoath records for their packaging. So that's pretty crazy. So that's cool to have the design done by another solid state band.
Something a couple fans were actually asking me last night before I went to sleep. Are we able to see a re-release of Descendants?
Yes, by the end of the year. Probably in November, December, you'll see a completely redone, new artwork, new everything.
So why exactly are you re-releasing it? Is it because the fans have been clamoring for it, or you guys have, or just everyone really?
It's kind of a mixture. It's still been selling really well. It actually started selling even better after we signed, just because new fans came in and they probably saw we had old music and were checking it out. But we were unsigned when we put it out, and we had a very limited budget, and there were so many things we weren't happy with how it turned out, so Solid State luckily was interested in buying the rights to it and giving us a budget to redo it how we wanted to do it.
Alright, so last question for you. Let's say you're stranded on a desert island and can only choose 5 albums ever to listen to again. What would it be?
I'd choose To Find the Great Line and Lost in the Sound of Separation. Then I would choose both Condition CDs that are out, so I've already knocked out 4, just 2 bands. And then last album, this one's probably difficult. Probably for nostalgia purposes, Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen.
Dude, yes. Gotta roll today, man. Well, thank you guys for checking out this interview. Be sure to check out Creation Destruction on Solid State Records right now. It's definitely one of the better metal albums I've heard this year. Be sure to catch all the rest of the Scream the Purr dates too, and have a good time. It's been nice hanging out with you, getting to know you, and later.